what I have to say effectively is you look at Rwanda's standing in the world,
yes,
and a country such as that effectively has the morality to say that we will not be party to Britain in breaking further laws.
yeah.
And effectively, does that not show you how we're perceived by the rest of the world?
I mean, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And effectively, you're saying, how do we end up here? And my contention, how we ended up here, with two unelected leaders of this country falling upon Boris the liar, a man who never held down an ordinary job, and effectively the tone and the moral levels that they would descend to in order to keep themselves in power. And what we have just now is diversionary politics. Let's all go on to the immigrants. Let's get into these boats. Never mind the fact the National Health Service is crumbling. The price of living in this country for the normal working people is getting prohibitive. And effectively, we're in a complete morass. And effectively, and to use the old Scottish term, you would send neither of them for a bag of rolls. And you've got Suella Braverman sitting there, someone who has been beneficiary to the fact that we do take immigrants. And I hard to believe that she's now putting up the ladder to make sure nobody else has the opportunities that she's had. And you remember, of course, she's that very famous author who helped that legal book whereby she did at least the photocopying.
Yeah, well,
does that not tell you precisely what you're dealing with?
Well, yes, it does. But even if you make a long list of the failings of the cast, I still can't quite believe the latest production is so awful. And I think it hinges upon their failure to recognise that Rwanda might actually behave autonomously, independently and legally. It just didn't cross their mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll say nothing without being a sycophant or patronising. I saw your interview with Mattis, and remarkable. And it's so important.
Thank you.
So important that we keep a sense of perspective and that people do voice attitudes and views that you do have, because effectively I consider the situation here for this democracy is in peril.